Hey everybody. Sorry for pushing this back. I've kind of had a bunch of things going on, and I'm not planning on being here too long today. First of all, with these headphones, my and yes, Dave, you're right. They did cheer me up a little bit. Um, my cat is like meowing really pathetically outside of my door, so it's going to be really distracting. So I should say hello to people. How is everyone tonight? How are you, Jenny? Um, you know, I'm feeling a little bit better. I am. I kind of wanted to just check in and let everybody know like where I'm at, and kind of what I plan on doing going forward with some things because I've had if anything, this experience has given me time to think, and it certainly has helped me do just that. And I've come to some realizations. And I would say hi to people. Hi, Mike, Amber, Road Gal, Jenny. X amount of words, Crystal, Kellyanne, one of my regulars there. And if I missed anybody, oh, hi, Manic, and hi, Tamara. I can't read this, guys. The text is so small. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I mean, I guess as of now, everybody's probably familiar with, how everything has kind of gone down in the past, I'd say 48 hours or so. It's certainly been, hey, Christy, it's been one of the more rough 48 hours that I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't one of the more rough 48 hours that I've had to go through in quite some time. But that it's not just because of what's on here. It's, my personal life as well and some stuff that I'm dealing with. So, it's been rough. It's been rough. I considered, not coming on here and, letting anybody know they got the better of me. But, I try to be as honest as I can. So I'm going to come out and say, yeah, it did. If you were trying to hurt me and you were trying to, come at me in a way that hurt, well, you succeeded. But you know what? I'm going to look at it as a good thing, because this way I can, I can kind of move forward and, figure out what I'm doing. Hey, Madhouse. And I'm going to do exactly that. So that's the thing. I'm tenacious. Good luck getting rid of me. I'm not going anywhere. Like stuff like this, it gets me down briefly. But when I come back, it just emboldens me, if that makes sense, to kind of just want to do better. Oh my God, I almost said men of two mom. I'm like dyslexic. I'm sorry. Mom of two men. There we go. I'm butchering everybody's names today. I just had some of melatonin gummies too, because I had a really hard time settling down after last night. I was kind of really riled up. Fortunately, I did find I'm not usually up that late, but I was in like a chat until like 2 a.m. So, I mean, maybe tonight will be another one of those. But I like hanging out with you guys, and that's what I kind of wanted to say. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Megan. That's what I really just wanted to say first and foremostly is like, I'm on here for a lot of different reasons, and my kind of, I've been really open about what I wanted to do with my channel. Like my channel originally that I wanted to do had nothing to do with anything here. What I originally wanted to do was, there's a documentary coming out about, exposing the troubled teen industry and these programs that, basically child abuse for hire. And Paris Hilton has been at the forefront of making all that happen. And I happen to have gone to these places as a troubled teen, and I've participated in some of these things that are going to start to come out. So I wanted to kind of do a complimentary YouTube channel where I could tell my story. I wanted to do it before people told it for me, if that makes sense. Thank you, Amber. I like all of your guys' kind words have literally made all the difference. I wasn't sure what to expect, I'll be honest with you. And I've gotten mixed. I've gotten some credit, and it was deserved. And we're going to touch on that too, very, very briefly. I don't want to talk about other creators so much in this live tonight, because I think a lot of people need a break from that, including the creators. So I don't really want to bring any negative attention to, and not that anything I would say is negative, because I'm genuinely a really laid back, nice person. The last thing that I ever want on here is for anything that I have done or said to hurt somebody. And I didn't, now that I've opened my eyes, and I'm looking at it in hindsight. I get it, Yeah, Madhouse, exactly. So you know what I'm talking about. It really is. They're unchecked by Paris Hilton. I mean, guys, think what you will of her, but she's actually, never in my life did I ever think my name would be next to Paris Hilton in any way, shape, or form. but here we are. So, but she's actually really smart. She's really smart. She's really driven. She's actually a very lovely woman. Think of that what you will, but she's definitely got the resources, the influence, to get these laws, because she's trying to get laws passed on state and federal level to have some oversight on these places. But that's kind of what I originally came on here to do, right? And then I started to. She is a boss. She absolutely is. Um, and guys, I know I can highlight comments, and don't think I don't like your comments because I'm not highlighting it. I have ADD really, really bad, so like I'm all over the place. I'm trying to just kind of stay on a straight line here. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I did see that. I did. I think I saw it right at the very end, right as I was clicking out, and I thought I hit a response to you, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. But no, I appreciate that, and I wanted to address something on that too. Um, because I think that I am pretty genuine, but that doesn't mean that things that I've done haven't hurt people, even though it was inadvertent. I didn't intend to hurt anybody, but the point is that I did. But we're going to address that later. And I just wanted to say, like, I'm trying to apologize to people is what I'm trying to say, because I had no intention of hurting anybody. That's the last thing that I wanted to do. And which is why, yeah, and yes, she is. Right. It is kind of a character she puts on. And she was a troubled teen. So she's been to one of these schools that actually is worse than the one I went to, and I didn't think that was possible. So, I can't imagine what she had to go through. She might have been there less time than I was in a place like this. I spent my entire teenage years from age 14 to 17. But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do, guys. That's what I wanted. And so then, like, the whole thing with Natasha came along, and I let me know if you guys can't hear me, because my internet's being really wonky in here. Oh, I see what's going on, guys. Guys, I gotta mute really quickly. I'm so sorry. I forgot that I didn't plug my laptop in. If this dies, I am so sorry, but hold on, I gotta get my charger. Okay, I think I fixed the problem. Sorry, guys. No, my charger was in my room, and did you lose sound? That was what I was wondering. Can you guys hear me now? Please let me know that you guys can hear me. Because like I said, my internet sometimes is shoddy in the room that I'm in, but usually it's okay. Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Put like a 1 in the chat or whatever that people say if you can hear me. I hope you can. You can hear me now? Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, and I was feeling pretty bad, because what, that hurt. I was kind of in shock about it, to be honest. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that, and I didn't even know what I possibly could have done to inspire that, to be honest. And then I started hearing things being said that I didn't know about myself. So, and then I just turned it off, and I've kept it off today because I don't want to know. I don't care. I think anybody who's been here, who's, listened to me live or has seen me in a chat, for the most part, sometimes me in the chat doesn't paint me in a great light. I do want to be clear, though. I've been cloned at least 3 times now. Not that that's an excuse. If anyone sends me a screenshot, I will tell you if that was me or not. Because I'm not perfect. I've said some things I'm not proud of. That's for sure. But I'm just saying, I've also had some people come to me and they're like, "Why would you say that about me?" And I literally was sleeping when that happened. So I don't know. I don't know. But I just wanted to be clear that guys, that does happen on here. Oh, thank you, Violet. I just I didn't I don't know what I did, but then it opened my eyes to the fact that there's just a lot going on that I don't know, that I hadn't s not that I didn't see. I'm gonna address that in a different thing. I'm trying to be positive in this one, but, your guys' support was everything to me because a lot of people yeah, 3 times. Kellyanne, I really couldn't tell you because I'm not in the big leagues. Like, I'm a nobody, like, not a nobody, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big creator. I just but I guess but this community is, like, volatile, guys. It really is. And when I started, the reason I started in this community was because I'm part of it. I started, coming onto YouTube, watching the lives with the Watts case, like I think many, many other people. And it kind of went from there. And I, been on and off and seeing in the, yeah, that right, Golden. When I heard that, my mouth just dropped. I was like, "Oh my god, no way." It is a conspiracy theories. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. I really couldn't. I had no words. So, you know, I but I think anybody who what I was trying to say is anybody who knows me and they've listened for the most part, you're going to be able to know and time will tell everything. So I get it. Like people in this community have been burned. I've been burned. There have been people who I've thought were somebody and it turns out that they were nothing like I thought that they were. And, it makes you not trust anybody here. I get that. I feel the same way. So I can't be upset that people feel that way about me. I get it. And that's fair. That's very fair. Um, but in time, I hope that people will start to see I'm nothing like whatever that was. I try to be genuine. I'm also a really nice person though, and some people consider that being weak and whatever. I'm not gonna, put too much thought into that because I know I'm not weak. Very, very, very far from that. But I do care about people, and I'm not, on here to bash anybody or to make anybody feel bad. And I am very trusting, and sometimes because I like to see the best in people. So if somebody, if I'll put on those rose-colored glasses, and I need to work on that. That's definitely one of my red flags. Like if that, I think that's what the kids say nowadays. I don't know. Toxic traits is I think what it means, but you know, yeah. It's okay. I get the text to talk thing. I've made some really like today with my community post, I kept trying to fix it and it kept saying like our pastas instead of past and it kept reverting back to pastas. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. People's, pastas don't define us or whatever. Um, but I'm also too trusting, Killian. I feel that way too. Um, and then you'll get the people that'll be like, well, YouTube might not be the place for you. Well, not all of YouTube is about drama and stuff like that. Like some people are about that, and like I've said 1,000 times, there's nothing wrong with that. Drama channels are here for a reason. Like, people enjoy drama. I do. I watch it. And that's another thing I wanted to correct that some people say. They're like, you say you're not about drama, but then we see you in the chats of drama channels. Okay, so I'm taking note of what people say, because some of them I feel that I can address, and that's one of them. Well, guys, I came from this community. Am I gonna not today? I'm not gonna say that. Because that's not my style. I don't have to talk like that's what I'm trying to say though. Like, right now I just want like something chill because I'm dealing with my own stuff in my personal life right now. And the last thing that I want is like YouTube stuff on top of it. So, like I said, maybe that means I'm redefining my channel and what I'm doing with it. And that is where I'm at. So, and that, like I said, though, that's just how I am. That's how I am. Like I will, I'm the first person. If you know me, like I'll definitely like I'm very opinionated about like certain things, especially like social issues and stuff. But when it comes to like being on here, I'm still getting the hang of this thing. I'm fairly new to YouTube compared to a lot of people, I guess. But I come from this community. You like before, I mean, there was a lot of true crime, and true crime is definitely like what I was interested in. And true crime was originally one of the ideas I was playing with in my head, with what I wanted to do. And actually, I think one of my names on here at one point was, I don't remember, was it like True Crime Book Club or something? But I was like, you know what, because there's a lot of true crime books that I really like. I'm like, I could talk about that. I played around with a bunch of ideas. But when everything started happening, with Natasha, I felt a certain way about that. And I started to see some behaviors and things that I wanted to talk about because I just found like the whole like premise of the fact that we're in this like micro community or like microcosm of I call it a solar system of YouTube and like the society, like hierarchical stuff that starts to form. I thought it was interesting. And I wanted to comment on some things because I didn't like some of the stuff that I saw. And this is a conversation for another day. I had a whole live planned where I was gonna, go name by name and say the things that, how I feel because I want to move on from that. But then this happened, and now I'm putting that on the back burner. Anybody, trust me when I say, if there's somebody that even remotely like might have an issue with me, I've contacted them privately. And that's between me and them at this point. Except for Dorothy, because I'm not doing that. I'm all set with that. But I'm not giving anybody an opportunity to betray my trust like that. Ever again. So, that's why I'm here. Like first of all, I wanted to thank you guys like so very much for the support that you guys have given me because like I said, I didn't know what to expect. And it's been people I didn't necessarily expect to support me that have, or have said something. And that just shows you never know what's going on here, guys. Like you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't, assume that you know anything on here. There are a lot of good people on here. There really are. And it's interesting though, because when things like this happen, it does open your eyes. You do see the people that turn on you really quickly, like the people who the day before thought that you were great, and the minute somebody says something, even if it's lies, they eat it up and they buy into it, and then they just continue it, and you're suddenly like public enemy number one. I saw that. I saw it in real time, except it was at myself, and it doesn't feel very good. So, you know, I definitely was like, okay, well, this isn't really something I want to be a part of at all. And Golden, I do try to check both sides, but it's gotten to a point where I'm not capable of being everywhere at once. And if I'm going to speak on things, I need to be, because I feel like there are things that I've missed out on. Because like for a lot of the time though, like I either I tune out during lives. If there's somebody I don't care for, I'll turn the volume down, or I'll be looking at the chat and not listening because I'm trying to read for my I'm trying to read. I'm looking at the chat every time I take a break, or I'm watching a TV show or whatever. So a lot of the time I don't even have the sound on because the sound is more distracting than the text. And I have ADD, so or a lot of the time I don't listen to an entire live. I get bored, so I exit out and then I don't hear the rest of it. So there were a lot of things that I was told get said that I hadn't heard personally, but I've gone back and looked and it's definitely there. So that's what I'm saying though. I didn't realize that, to be part of this community at all, people expected you to behave a certain way or address certain topics. I would like to be part of this community first and foremostly because I like the people in it. I enjoy the people here. Like I consider many of you friends, especially the ones that participate in my chat a lot, because I've gotten to know a lot of you, and I feel like vice versa. And that's first and foremostly why I chose here, not necessarily because I want to sign up for whatever that entails. So I'm gonna try to keep at it. Like I've also started to venture into different communities. I'll click on what comes up in my suggested. I have other things that I want to do on here that I think you guys are gonna like. Like I don't think that this is gonna be anything that you guys aren't interested in, especially when my surprise. There is a surprise I have in store for you guys that you guys are gonna. It's not just me. It's like a collaborative, but it's with somebody you guys don't know yet. And it's not part of this community. So you'll see. I can't say much more on it. I really wish I could because I'm really hyped about it. And I did feel a little bad at first, but I don't feel bad anymore. But yeah, I just want to, I hashtag shy. I have Golden and hashtag shy in here. You guys are like two very insightful. Megan, you're very insightful as well. So a lot of you guys are. Most of you guys are. But some of you guys say things that I want to say, but better. Sometimes they don't make sense. I get it. But I came in here because I wanted to talk about like things that I was seeing. And then it got to a point where, I was seeing, but then I had to think to myself, a lot of that has to do with it's like the same people and stuff. So, not entirely. I'm not blaming people. I'm just saying, like, we're like, there's certain people in this community. So, of course, I'm still going to see certain behaviors, but I don't think that I want to judge people on that either because there are a lot of people. Well, Golden, I can tell there are a lot of people that maybe get a little carried away in other things, but when they're here they're really respectful, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I get it. I am too. I do the same thing, so I can't. It's complicated, guys. And the past 48 hours has really I've taken a step back and I've kind of looked at the big picture, and I feel like I obviously misjudged some things. And I like I said, I have wait, I do, Madhouse? I know I do. If you're talking about me, I know I do. My mom tells me that all the time. Hey, Gladys. You were gonna go live tonight. I'm gonna be live very, very briefly. I didn't have anything. Well, I do, Madhouse, so that would be fair. I wasn't intending on it, but I wanted to. First of all, I wanted to thank people. I wanted to address a few misconceptions that I've heard. Like I said, I have no interest in listening to the things that. Well, that's true too, Megan. So here, I have no intention of listening to things that upset me. Because like I said, I wasn't even gonna come out and say it, but yeah, that hurt. That did. But you know what? I think it was for the best, and I'm not looking back. Hi, Brittany. I'm excited for your live later as well. I like hanging out. Your chat was really nice yesterday. I needed that. And I needed this because, like I said, guys, when push comes to shove, I like the people here. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for, and I try to be fair. And I think people that see that know that. Bye, Irvin. I think that people see that, and I think people see that I try to be objective, and I'm trying to just adjust, like address behaviors. I never really wanted to address creators. I wanted to talk about like the creators. Hey, T. Adams. I wanted to talk about like the not the creators, but the behaviors that I see, and I'm not just talking about in the community either. I'm talking about like on YouTube in general, because a lot of this, guys, isn't unique to this. A lot of it goes, it's everywhere. And I just, I'm new to this. So I started with what's around me. I also started this because I don't know about any of you, but if you've tried to talk about what's going on in this, on YouTube, everybody looks at you like you're crazy. Like nobody wants to hear about it because they don't understand. But all of us, have this one thing, like these, this community in common. And so like, when I talk, and sometimes I want to talk about it. So if I'm talking about it, like you guys get it because you guys see it too. Hey, Teresa. And if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read everything as it goes. Yeah, I can't help but agree with you there. Is it Ashley, or is it pronounced like something that I'm gonna embarrass myself trying to do? I'm just gonna I think it's Ashley. I can't, I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I've always wanted to know how to pronounce your name. I'm like, is it Ashley or is it like Allie, or I don't know. I'm so sorry. Like, correct me, please, because I don't want to address you in the wrong way. But I want you to know that I'm like addressing your comment. And I've always, there's some people's names here that when I hear them, I've always thought like I've been mispronouncing them. And then when I hear like somebody say it on a live, I'm like, oh, okay. But that's the thing. I'm gonna address that when things kind of blow over a little bit, just because I don't think like now is the time. Like I said, guys, I have spoken to people privately. I don't know the outcome of that quite yet. I think, but I have. I'm not just coming on here before I've addressed. I did. I did. I apologize to Jess, because I can understand how that felt hurtful, because I definitely would have felt the same way. And I just wanted to be, I want to clarify kind of what went down with that, at some point. Now is not the time with that. I told her, but there's a lot of just weird nonsense. Yeah, Jennifer, you're right. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. That's not why I'm here. Also, I'm not here to, like, make alliances with people, because that's not why. I just want to make peace with people for myself. And that doesn't include everybody. So, for right now, like, there are some people that I don't think that I could ever get behind, because I've seen what they do, and it's so against what I think is, I value. But I do really try to stay objective, and I think sometimes things get misconstrued. My intent was never to hurt anybody. I would never want to purposely hurt somebody. That's not how I am, and I think people will see that in due time. But, you know, yeah, the craziness, you can't, Megan, because people look at you like you're crazy. Like, nothing's changed with me, except for, I've kind of had my eyes open, and I'm kind of seeing things more for what they are. But I kind of feel like, I've been unchained from some things too, and I'm going to leave it at that for right now. But there's nothing being held over my head at this point. There is nothing that, anybody can say about me, that wouldn't be lies at this point. And I know that. And, if people are going to believe everything they hear, that seems to be what happens sometimes. And I just need to accept that. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm just going to be like, you know what? That comes with the territory. If people want to come to me and ask, that's great. If not, it's okay too. And there is a lot going on that's, upsetting to a lot of people. I get that. I see it, I see it. There's a lot of people that feel left in the middle when people, are changing their views. And I'm sure that does include me. But I get that. And I agree. People should be very careful with that, because no, you're right. She's not gonna be, if no, that's not gonna work out very well. But, I like a lot of the people here too. And, when people are fighting, it puts people, even myself, I don't always know how to handle that. And I have too, Jennifer. I've also, I've gone through my memberships quite recently, actually, because I'm trying to save some money where I can. But I definitely had to cancel my memberships on some things that, I was just like, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. But, yeah, Gladys, I hope so too. I I just want to make peace with people. That's all I want. If nothing else, I don't want there to be any bad feelings between me and anybody else. Yeah, was there ever a time when private, right? I think you're right, hashtag shy. There's always been stuff like that. Always. But I feel like here it's getting into a cycle of people trying to one up each other on what, like, the worst thing that they could do to anybody. And I'm not for that. I don't like that. Because that's not how I think. But I can see how that's how everybody assumes that you think on here, because you see it all the time. For now, I'm taking a break from talking about anybody at this point. I was going to do a whole live about it, but then this happened. And like I said, I'm dealing with some stuff in my personal life, so I don't need that right now. Like, I can handle it. It's fine. I'll get over it, and I can disconnect from it. I just, I was kind of, usually it's on my terms, because, like, I'll be the one who mentions it. So I expect backlash if I mention something, but I didn't even do anything in that situation besides say that I didn't agree with something. So yeah, right, Brittany, right, Brittany. And that's all that I'm doing. That's all that I'm doing. People can make up speculations about what I'm doing. What the heck is that? Oh, there's somebody outside my house. Hold on, guys. All right, that's weird. But yeah, books could be written, and books probably should be and are written about this. But that's what I'm trying to say about this. That's what I'm doing with my channel. I have some stuff that I think you guys would be very, very interested in. That's all I can say at this point. But just, you're gonna have to take my word for it. You're gonna, there's I'll say it out loud. There is a much larger creator that has been interested in what goes on in this community. And I am all for helping them out with that. So there will be that coming. And, I think people will be very, very for it. But, there's that. And then I do want to do some true crime, because I'm really into that too, right? I want to try to figure out, I can't tell you, Golden. I can't tell you yet. I shouldn't have even said that. But You'll see. When I can tell people, I will. Um, they're not. I don't. They're not anybody from the. No, I wish Golden. It's probably a step down from that. It's interesting that you mentioned him, though. That is interesting. I like him a lot, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting. It might be, well, I can't say too much. It's a secret, guys. Right, Robin, you're right. It is, and it is. It's sick. It's sick, and I'm tired of it. Like, I don't care about that. You want to come at somebody for what they say on YouTube? Fine. Come at people for what they say on YouTube. But I get, people making up. You are very good at guessing, Golden. But I guess, like, making stuff up about other people seems to be the norm. I know Madhouse. I wish I could. I shouldn't have even said what you'll see, though. I just want you guys to know that, like, my channel, my purpose and my premise has not changed. Has not. I'm doing things a little differently. But it's coming. So, in the meantime, I do want to do some true crime. There are some cases that I've definitely wanted to share my views on, because I think that I have some different views than some people, certainly unpopular views about some of them. Yeah, right. I don't think, is it Allie? Can you correct me? I feel like, part of my brain says Ashley, but I think it's Al. I don't know. I feel bad. I want to address you because I see you in a lot of chats and I like you. So, but you're right. I think that private information is crossing the line. You want to come at somebody for what they're saying on YouTube? Go ahead, fine. But when we're digging into each other's lives and we're saying that everything is like fair game to look into, I feel like that's sending a bad message to everybody. Because even myself at this point, I'm like, oh my God, like, but not that I don't have anything left to hide at this point, like or else it's lies, because I've kind of, put out the only truth that I really have yesterday that I possibly would be ashamed of, coming out. But, I just, yeah, Kellyanne, no, I think it's somebody clearing out the ice that's on the back stairs because they're being very nice. But I didn't know they were home, so that frightened me. But let's see, 20K. I'm not into drama, right? I get it, and I'm against that too. I don't like subs being manipulated. That's also what I've said. I don't like seeing people being manipulated, and I feel like people take advantage of the fact that there are some really. Oh, I get what you're saying, Kellyanne. I thought you meant the person outside my window. I get what you mean. I'm sorry. It took me a little. But I think that there are really good people, really generous people, really kind people in this community, and I think that it attracts a certain thing. And we see it. I feel like a lot of people count on that too, and I feel terrible seeing it. Yeah, any like people don't have morals anymore, especially on here. Like, what the heck? I would never even think to do that to somebody. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing on it. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable. In fact, like I've said to you guys, I'll use an example. Like, there have been other people that have, been putting out Jessica's, like, criminal record. I didn't feel comfortable looking at that until it came from her. I didn't want to know because that's not my business. It's not my business to see that. Or else it's something that they're putting out, which nobody should feel pressured to do in the first place. And that goes for other people who I've seen putting out their records at this point, who feel that they need to do it to get in front of what's going on. Right. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like what's being said. The thing about it, though, Gladys, is, trying to make sure it's not somebody who's going to really be really vindictive. And, it's not always who you think it's going to be either. It really isn't. And then you kind of, yeah, Brittany, I would love to as well. There are a couple cases. Actually, Melissa Jade had some cases that she wanted to cover that were really, really interesting. She might have already done it. I'm not sure. I try to catch as many of other people's stuff as I can, but sometimes, I'm human and I'm not everywhere. So I did miss a lot of stuff. So, what I want to do is I want to do true crime. I want to talk about a lot of stuff from like a criminology perspective. Like I said, guys, I have, I have people who would be more than willing to come on here and talk to you guys about some things. Like, I don't know if anybody else here is into, like, some of the serial killer documentaries that are out there, especially on Amazon Prime. But I happen to have connections to somebody who's one of the people interviewed in all of them. So that person has, been gracious enough to be willing to come on here and talk. I just wanted to wait for the drama to die down because, I don't feel comfortable bringing some people into things. But yeah, I've seen some good open discussions too, but you don't want to get involved with backlash. And that's what I'm also saying. A lot of people like will jump on you just for being in a chat, and I don't I don't like that. I don't like that at all because I see people in chats of people I don't like all the time. Um and I don't, because yes, there are some people like that I don't care for. That's us being human. We're allowed to have preferences. Like, that's for sure. Like, I'm sure there are people you guys don't care for either. Whether it's okay, Jennifer. I'm trying to catch it. I was telling someone you needed. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how people are. I think that a lot of people like to hold on to hope. It's easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. Is a quote that I feel that is appropriate. Um, yeah, because they went real life, they want to go back. Right, right. Two wrongs don't make a right, and that's what I'm trying to say to people. Like, a lot of people don't like that style, but for me, that just leaves two people who feel hurt. That just leaves. I don't want to. That's not in my nature. And I know a lot of people have been like, well, maybe this isn't the right. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. But a lot of people do show up to my lives. A lot of people like the stuff that I talk about, because I do try to come at things not from a personal standpoint. It's more from like observations of like certain things that I see going on, and it's nothing necessarily personal at anybody. That's why I've always said, I don't necessarily use names, because if you think I'm talking about you, then maybe there's something there that resonates, and if you think I'm talking about somebody in particular, maybe there's something that resonates with you there. And maybe that's not the right way of doing it. I mean, I don't know. That's just more of my style, because I don't want to attack anybody personally. Um, well, Mike, that would be if I don't have that, but I'm hesitant to even say anything on here about my family. Mike, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's somebody much, much younger than I am. Much younger. But but I'm hesitant to even say that, because then people will go and they're like, well, let me find pictures and put that's just disturbing, guys. And I did get a really weird message from my email the other day that I've told a few people, but it was a picture from my Facebook that somebody sent me, and I was like, okay. And I'm not sure if they were trying to be helpful or harmful. So, but I'm like, okay, well, honestly, that's just weird. Like, nobody should be going, no, no, Mike, not right now. I'm not a shut in. That's not the right word. I don't get out much. I don't get out much these days. But I just, I like to talk about things from a different standpoint, because I find that kind of stuff fascinating, like the criminology and like the psychological things. And that's what my original content was about. Like, I had some stuff about, calling out Natasha on some things. I had some stuff that I thought was mean that I took down, because that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to body shame anybody. That's just how I feel and how I want to do things. But I did. I had a lot of stuff on cyberbullying. I had a lot of stuff on just like, narcissists and what that really means. And I've had a particular stream I've wanted to, but right, right. Hashtag shy. I want to make that very clear to you guys. Just because I don't say something publicly does not mean I didn't try to say it privately 1,000 times. Because I did, and I can come with receipts if people, I shouldn't have to, but people can believe what they will. But the word does get thrown out too much, Madhouse, and that's what I was trying to correct. I think that it's kind of a word that's kind of been overused, and people don't really know exactly what it means. And I feel like that was sociopath too, because people, I mean, especially sociopath. But that's what I was trying to do. And I kind of wanted to come on here and like correct misperceptions. Like, what really is doxing? What is doxing? I'm working on something with that, because, even I don't know. I don't know what exactly doxing means. A lot of people like to say something's doxing, but I don't know. So I wanted to kind of come out with that and kind of, for once and for all, from a legal standpoint, try and figure out what that means. That's just what I want. Supporting someone, right? And I don't, and I never have, Megan. That's what I want to make really clear on that. Like, I trust me when I say I can recognize. I'm not blind. Like, I can recognize. Like, I'm not like blind to people. What is the word that we used? Because I like somebody, it doesn't blind me to what's going on, because it certainly doesn't. It certainly doesn't. I see it. And just trust that, a lot of that I do privately, for many reasons. Some of them, I guess, selfish, that I don't want, necessarily want backlash, and that's something I'm going to work on, and I'll be honest about it. I'm not perfect. I'm new to the YouTube thing. Like, when it comes to like drama and stuff, and when you're being dragged in, that's not necessarily my personality. So, I'm trying to navigate how I want to do things. And I agree. And nothing's changed on that. Just because I don't want to, yeah, there's a lot going on. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that does go on is all because, no, I think I know what you mean. Doesn't mean that you have to. Right, right, right. And I feel like it's okay to support two different people. I mean, I think that there's exceptions to that, when somebody's like going, or somebody's really toxic, and and you feel like it's all for the wrong reasons. If that makes, I know that makes sense to you guys, especially the people in my chat right now. But I was tired of it, because I was tired of feeling like I couldn't go where I want, because I can't say this enough. A lot of why I'm here is to connect with people, because I don't get out as much these days. I used to be working out of the house. I'm not doing that anymore. And, I'm not necessarily the most social person in the world, but I do like to have connection. And I really like a lot of you guys, most of you guys. I mean, there's very few that I don't really like. And my opinion can change, if people want to, if their behavior changes, or maybe I had the wrong idea. I mean, anything's possible. But I started seeing a lot of stuff going on in the community that I wanted to speak out against. But for now, just based on what happened before, like, just recently, I'm taking a step back for a little bit. I'm probably going to take a few days off, guys. I'm not going to lie, but I do have a lot of content in the works for you guys, including some true crime cases. And I know some people are going to laugh, but I do have binders. I literally have these white binders that I print out the information, because I need to read from things if I'm going to be at all able to follow. But I'm putting together some things that I think people will be interested. And don't worry, it's not the Watts case, and it's not the Wells case. I think there's enough coverage of that. And I mean, some people have asked for my opinion of the Wells case, and I think I've said that I can't. Nope. And that's a problem. I'd love to have a conversation like that about what you guys think is appropriate and what isn't, because I think that, where there have been some crimes that have been solved by social media, I want to have a conversation. Like, do you think that social media harms or, helps in terms of cases, or can it be both? Because I feel like we've seen with like the Petito case, and we've seen with the Wells case, there's just been some things that I don't think is helpful. And I feel like a lot of it is also for the wrong reasons. I feel like a lot of people, will, especially if they're on YouTube, will get involved in something for all of the wrong reasons, for publicity, or clicks and views. And I don't think that that's a worthy reason to get in. If you really care and it's a cause that you really want to stand behind and you want to help, that's great. Actually, it's interesting that you say that, Matt House. That's so interesting. Yes, that is a case that I do plan on covering. Not that in general, I want to cover, but YouTube is very, very particular about how I word certain things. I've looked into it. But it's interesting that you say that, because one of my special guests actually has been in a couple newspapers and things like that, and on the radio, or the news rather, that like NPR and stuff, that about those kinds of things. And I would love for him to come on here and talk from his professional opinion about that, because he has some interesting things to talk about, and I would love to talk about that case in general. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when I first came on here, I had a whole lot of things I wanted to do, and I got sidetracked. I got very, very sidetracked, and, kind of went down a road of just getting really, really, you have an unpopular, okay, or I'm intrigued, Madhouse, I'm intrigued. That is why I watch what people say in chat. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Megan. I agree. And I was kind of trying to look back at, because at first I wasn't sure. I've been trying to figure. I'm confused by a lot of the things that have happened recently. I'm not gonna lie. And I've been trying to figure out like what you know, I, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But I've seen some things and I'm like, all right, that makes sense. But that's what I'm saying. Like if I see somebody in somebody's chat and they're just talking to somebody else, or they're just participating when like the topic isn't about somebody else, I don't have a problem with that. I don't necessarily have a problem with it either way because I understand, how people get caught up in stuff because we all like to be here. We all like drama. A lot of us do. It's just the drama's gone real life, and that's what the problem is. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, we all are. I agree with you. I agree. I'm just like this has kind of put things on pause for me, is what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm just like, it made me really take a step back, and I'm like, am I helping the situation, or maybe I need to, because I know people like my content, and I know people like how I approach things, and I really I like that, and I don't want to stop, giving people what they want to see because first of all, I enjoy talking about it, and secondly, if people are interested, I am all for, because obviously, we're up here, and a lot of us, I don't want to say entertainer, but I mean that's kind of the only word I can think of, is we all want. I'm a business person, so for me, everything comes to business, and it's like supply and demand. So if people really like the style that I'm doing, then I'm going to continue doing that because that's how people like, and and that's how I am anyway. So if people are enjoying me being myself on here, then that's wonderful. I'm not here to, if I grow as a channel, I grow. I mean, I might grow real slowly, but I'll get there when I get there. I'm not in a rush for anything like that. I just like the conversations that we have. Like I said, guys, it's more me like figuring out how to do this and getting to talk to cool people that I like. Um, yeah, it is hard to not get sucked into it, Jennifer. You're right. You're right. And even, I'm not perfect. Yes, I come on here and I talk about my strong morals and values, but, guys, I do have those. I do. Like, I do have some things that, I'm very, very firm by. And I am a really nice person. I feel like that's pretty evident. And I know that it's not everybody's style. And I'm not trying to say that though. There are creators on here that have no issue coming out and speaking their mind that are also nice people. I feel like that's actually not a productive thing to say, but you guys know what I just have a different style. That's all. It is. It's hard to present content that's non-biased. Yeah, yeah. That's really really and a very astute comment there. Hashtag shy. Um, it's true. It's true. And everybody, yeah, Jennifer. Brittany, if you're in here and you want to drop your link, I am okay with that. I enjoy your chats as well. Yeah, getting to 500 have that community tab. That was my goal, Megan. That was my goal. That's really all I wanted because I wanted to do those polls with people. I'm really interested in how other people see the the community and the situation because I can say that I don't see something all I want, but these are the people in our community and they see it a certain way, so you can't argue with that. And people feel that they can be honest on those because first of all, I can't see who's voting. Nobody can see what you vote, and nobody even knows that it was you, or else you tell somebody. So you know I just I don't know. That's why I was doing that. Not because I think that, I'm better than anybody else, or not that I think I do things. I'm interested in that kind of stuff. I want to know what I personally, as myself, can do better to give people a better experience on YouTube. And I know that there are other creators who also would like to do that. Maybe not necessarily change their style, but if there's things that, people feel really strongly about, then there are some changes that are acceptable to make that people might want to do. um Detective Turtle Gum, I don't know, I'm just doing Brittany's link today, just her link today. Maybe tomorrow. But that's okay, guys. Yes, Detective Turtlegum has a channel, so if you would like to go check them out, then you can by all means do that as well. But I don't know your channel. I don't actually know. I I don't know what I look at. I don't know who's who anymore sometimes. I don't know how many turtle gums there are. Oh, Detective Turtle Gum. It's not personal, but Brittany had a really great chat last night. That was a really great panel, actually, with some really great ladies that really had some good insight on some stuff going on in the community that I think was presented in a very fair, level-headed way. So I can get behind that 100%. I enjoyed it. I think she's going live very, very soon, so I will be going and checking that out tonight. Yeah, see, Golden, there you go, Detective Turtlegum. Golden says you have a great channel, and I'll go check it out. I will. I'm not against anybody. Like very, yeah, right. It is for my channel, and that's how I was like. I'm a business person, so surveys. It's called market research. Like it's what you do. If you're going to enter a market, you need to know about your. I feel so bad saying things like this because you guys are like my friends, but you need to know your target audience. If you know your target audience, then how things should be presented in the best way possible. And that doesn't mean that I'm always going to do it in that way. Like there are some things that people mentioned in that survey that I'm not going to change because I don't feel that I don't want to. But I was actually really interested in a lot of your guys' answers. A lot of you answered in ways that I didn't expect, first of all. And, I think that we could have some really good conversations about it. And I think I got a little sidetracked, but I'm just going to continue doing what I do. And if people like it, that's great. If people don't, then, that's okay too. I get it. And I get why people aren't trusting at this point, but I hope that in time people will see that I'm really not, I'm not a bad person. I feel like people will see that I am who I say I am. But I'm human, so I make mistakes. We all do. And the difference between me and maybe other people, but I've seen a lot of people is I'll own up to it. And I want to have those conversations. I don't want anybody to dislike me. I know that's not possible. I know that there's always going to be people, but I'm going to rephrase that. I can't help it that some people dislike me because a lot of people are a little delusional. But I definitely don't want anybody to feel hurt by me at all. We don't have a lot of that on YouTube. People get so angry. Yeah. Well, Madhouse, what the purpose of the polls is that I kind of wanted people to be able to share how they feel without, the risk of being judged because nobody knows who it was. And then, if people wanted to put in the comments, anything additional, Megan, you had some really good points in the comments, as did many of you. But it was interesting to see what people think. And a lot of it was things that I do that people have a problem with. So, that makes me have to look. And like I said, guys, there are a lot of creators on here, even ones that you probably don't expect that do care. I'm not promising you that they're going to change how they do things. That's up to them. But, I don't think anybody, is on here. A lot of people don't want to, they're not going to tailor their content for anybody, but, they also don't want to hurt anybody either. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have a lot of support here. I have some really great people. And I think I have, I see new faces in here every day. And I know I can't make everybody happy. I know that, some people it's going to take a little bit more time for them to, trust me and trust my intentions on here. But I hope to do that because I can tell you guys all I want that I'm, who I say, but I know that nobody's going to believe it until they see it for themselves. And I encourage that actually. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And I was in a really not a great place yesterday. I was, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of in shock. Air Force vet, I'm feeling a little better today. Yeah, right, Megan. That's exactly it. And I'm really tired of hearing though with that is that this community isn't for you. This is my community. So if I'm gonna be on here, I'm not saying that I'm just gonna talk about this community. I'm venturing out into other horizons. But, I have every right to be here too. And I don't have to handle things in any particular way to do so. And, you know, I, that's just how I feel. Um, I also pick my battles, hashtag shy. That's what I'm saying though. Just because I haven't said something about it doesn't mean that's not what I'm thinking. I promise you that. And anybody who has spoken to me privately, I guarantee you, they know. They know. So they know exactly where I'm coming from, and they know how I've been feeling, especially lately. So, but I am, and I appreciate that, Brittany. Like I said, like there are some really good people on here. And I know not everybody's going to get along, and that's okay. We don't all have to get along, but we don't have to be doing stuff that's so low and hurtful. Because I can tell you right now, there are some people that have been very, very hurt by the things that are going on, and it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Nobody should feel that they have to put like their story or their personal life on display to get ahead of somebody potentially revealing it. Nobody should have to do that. I didn't like that. I didn't like having to do it yesterday. So, I've seen several people like, posting on their community posts, like their criminal records. And that's very personal, guys. And especially if that has nothing to do with what you're doing on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. That didn't feel right to me. That felt really, really off. When you're afraid that somebody and subs are afraid of it too, because some people have even said that subs aren't off limits. So that makes people think that, their lives could be dug into if they rub somebody the wrong way. And that's a really terrifying thing to think of. Not even if you have something to hide, but there's some people like myself who don't even want to acknowledge that we have a family because we don't want anybody brought into it. But I guess, some people don't have the same boundaries at all. Yeah, Madhouse. I actually, there were some Facebook groups that I was in that were really toxic, and I left immediately. I was like, there's nothing that could be worse than that. But here on YouTube, I mean, I'm seeing some stuff that's just, I'm like, I don't know, like you can't win. You can't win because you don't know who's going to come on here. There are some people that aren't exactly rational on here either. And there's no talking to some people when they're really caught up in, what they believe in and whether it's true or not. Bye, Mike. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to get off here soon because I actually got some groceries today. So I actually have food, which is wonderful. Because I'm going to actually have something to make today. And, it's been a crazy couple days. I'll tell you that, not just on here, but, for my personal life as well. But, hold on today. Yeah, I don't like that. Like people shouldn't be threatening each other. It's YouTube, guys. This is supposed to be entertainment, enjoyment. Like we all like a little bit of drama. Like we all do. I like it. I like seeing people go back and forth. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely like a market for it because people clearly like it, including myself. But, it's when it's taken to a level where it's so personal and kind of dangerous, guys. If I'm being perfectly honest, and very hurtful. That's where I don't like it. I don't like subs being manipulated because, yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay, right? I agree with you, Megan, because I have people from all over that come to my chat. Because I'm still, I came from Natasha's community, so I am still friendly with some people who are in her community, and that's their right to be. It is. And there are people from all sorts of communities that come in here, and we all get along. I don't think I've had any instances, less than I can count on one hand, of where there have been anybody disrespectful in here, and I think that's really awesome, and I like that a lot, and that's why I was kind of happy with the way I was doing things. So. I don't know. It is right. Same interest, but difference of opinion. It's not a bad thing. I want to have those conversations. That's why I'm here. Like, I want to know what people think. Genuinely. I don't think I'm unapproachable. I'm definitely not gonna mute you or boot you, as long as people are respectful about it. And, if, after I give my answer, it's not like, continued, kind of harassing in a harassing way, because I've seen that happen. And if somebody's answered your question, especially if it's there live, just let it move on. Like, you want to email me, go ahead. My email's at the bottom there. But, we don't have to, take up the whole live about something, one issue that somebody has. But I can definitely, I want to have a small conversation, Right. That's the purpose of it, Megan, especially with true crime. I think that there's a lot of differences of opinion on things. And I think talking, you can't talk about those things without seeing both sides. So, maybe I didn't look at things one way, but somebody else does. That's why I actually, one of the first lives that I started watching was Critical K. And I didn't really talk in her chat very much because I did get jumped on once, and I was like, yeah, I was kind of put off by that. But that was when I was brand new to YouTube. Like, I'm kind of used to it now. But I liked the way that, I didn't always agree with her, but she had a way of presenting some things that I wouldn't have thought of it that way. Now I only started watching it like the very tail end of it. I know that there were some things that she had said that I honestly didn't know. I've not heard for myself, but I know that that's another controversial one that people either like or they don't. But I enjoyed what I saw when I was there, and I was there right at the tail end before she disappeared. Yeah, Madhausen, that's fair. I get it. No, that was one of the first ones that came up in my thing. And that's the first one I kind of started listening to. Actually, was her and Cher, Voices Behind the Wall, who used to be part of Watts Island, who was another one that came up in my suggested that I clicked on a few times, and I liked some of the stuff that was there too. Not all the time, but that was my first experience with YouTube, and then I kind of went from there. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like I was a huge supporter of anybody, but that was just, yeah, Madhouse, right. I agree. So yeah, yeah, Golden, that's the thing. Like, people can have differences of opinion and still get along. Yeah, Megan, you are lucky. The Watts Island stuff was nuts. Although I'd almost prefer that to what's going on now here, to be honest with you. But I guess that's because I don't know. I don't know with all that. There's some people that, can't leave Watts Island for whatever reason. And I'm just like, guys, like, why are we still doing this? Like, come on. It's okay to do a live about it here and there, but, to have that be your main topic and just continue, I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's not for me. That's for sure. But I am probably going to get off of here soon. I'm going to eat some dinner. I have to do a lot of homework tomorrow, so if I do come on, it's not going to be till a little bit later, but I might take a few days off to kind of get myself together. I just wanted to thank everybody so very much for all of your support and kind words, because it meant everything to me. You have no idea. I know that sounds really sappy, but I mean it. If I didn't have that, I think yesterday would have been even worse for me. But I just, I encourage people to be kind to each other. Just, give it a break. Even the people, the creators that come on here and they put on a strong face, and they're strong front rather, or whatever, and it affects people. Like, we're human beings too, and I think that everybody could use a break at this point from some of the stuff that's been going on. So, there's just no need for it. They're human. Everybody's human. Like, they might not tell you that it affects them, but it does. And it was really nice talking to all you guys too. So thank you everybody for stopping by. And I hope people continue to do that. I have a lot of stuff in store for you guys, and I think you guys are really going to like it. So I will talk to you guys later. I'll be in some chats here and there. But thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope everybody has a great night.